Greetings to the Bitcoin channel. I'm James J. Sakino. That's man in shadow here. There is a reason why we're in the shadow here. We're going to be looking at the situation that could be developing soon for those investors in Bitcoin. There is a rumor that even Yahoo Finance News even made a story on, so I guess it's a pretty serious rumor when you have the mainstream media picking it up. And this rumor is that there's an 80% capital gain may be heading your way if you're a person holding any kind of crypto investment. If you're somebody who may have invested in cryptocurrency, there may be a capital gain tax heading your way. All right, now Joe there has actually talked about increasing capital gain tax up to 40%. All right. Now, that's, of course, it applies to people that, let's say you invest in a stock and it moves up and you make some money on it. As long as it stays within the stock, you should be okay. But the day you remove it, then you got to pay that 40% if you're in stock. But now they want to do it to cryptocurrency, and the talk is 80%. That's totally insane. Now, this is just talk at this moment. It's not been confirmed, but it seems like there is going to be some kind of tax imposed on cryptocurrency. American taxpayers who are being taxed to death are the ones who possibly going to be paying for this, most of them. And if you're extremely rich and you have invested into this, of course, then you go and you get your lawyers, your tax lawyers, and you find every which way you can not to pay this 80% capital gain, because rich people stay rich and the middle class and the poor just get poor and get screwed. This is usually the way it works. All right. But that's the situation. I'll tell you the truth, I don't think it's fair, not even for the rich people or for anybody investing in this currency. I don't think it's fair that you have to go and pay a capital gain on this. On this kind of currency, on anything, really, to tell you the truth. The government's got their own printing press. Let them print whatever money they want and get it from there. All right? So, they want to pull out their white elephant of the deficit and all this kind of stuff. Well, let them do that. But I don't think that hard-working people that maybe has saved up, $10,000, $20,000 and let's say a while back invested into Bitcoin now going to be penalized, and this might be their retirement plan. This may be the retirement money that they're going to retire on this Bitcoin. All of a sudden, the government says, well, guess what? I own 80% of that. Give it to me right now. That's not fair. All right. This is what happens when you put a socialist communist into the White House. And I'm sorry if you may have voted for this individual. You have to have read the writing on the wall that you were voting for a communist socialist. All right. It's what you were voting in. When you put communism into the United States, and especially into a position like the White House, this is the penalty that you pay. All right. Now, I think this will create a situation where you're going to have these so-called whales, which are the ones that hold huge amount of this cryptocurrency. They may end up moving their money overseas to basically hide it. All right, they're really gonna start thinking about why I invested millions of dollars in this, and now I got to pay millions of dollars to the government. All right, this 80% tax on this, just because the wrong person got into the White House and decided to hit us with this 80%. All right. Now he's also, like I say, he's also talking about just increasing the regular capital gain up to around 40%. Right now it's around 20% is what we pay in capital gain. All right. It's just beyond we can't even comprehend what's going on in our government. All right. This is basically a dictatorship what we have in the White House. This is a bunch of people that got together, calling themselves the Democratic Party, which is really basically the Communist Party of the United States, got together and are now fleecing and stealing from the village, you could say. All right. This whole industry wasn't created by the U.S. government. This is created by individuals from different parts of the world. All right. And people thought that this could be a good way for them to make some money and possibly retire. All right. And now even the rumor itself has caused the ups and downs that you see right now in the crypto community. You can say on the crypto investment, where you see Bitcoin goes up and down, and it's turned into a yo-yo. Okay, maybe the rumor is not concrete, you can say, but there seems to be something behind it, because there seems to be other players who are behind it. And you're going to see that coming. Anything that makes money in the United States, no matter what it is, all right, they're going to try to tax it. All right. And then they claim it that they need to do this for whatever reasons they come up with it, but they got their own printing press, all right? If they wanted to remove all taxes from the United States tomorrow, they could do it and print out all the money they wanted to without taking a dime from you and me. This is to control and manipulate people when you had, not as much communism as you had now, you have now in the White House, when you had these less communism and less socialists in the White House, yes, you had taxes, but it's not out of control like we're heading right now. We're heading into a out of control tax collection on the American public. Okay, they're going to not only go after cryptocurrency, they're probably going to go after other stuff, and they're going to continue to raise these taxes on American citizens who are right now being slammed all over the place with the economic situation that we find ourselves in. All right. So what are these like I said, these crypto whales are going to do? I think they're going to take another pass. I think they're going to be guided by another star somewhere. You could say they're going to be heading in another direction in that ocean. They're going to be taking that wealth away from the United States, wealth that we could have used in the United States, possibly to invest in properties or in factories or in some kind of corporation. Now they're going to get scared, and they may end up pulling in a different direction. Not only that, but they may get scared when they start pulling their money off this crypto investments that they do, bringing down this you could say in some ways it's very new. This cryptocurrency is new, and you could actually bring a lot of destruction to a lot of people who have been small investors thinking they could ride the wave of investment, and this could be their retirement fund. Might now be extremely nervous that the whales may pick up and leave, because they're being frightened off because there's somebody out there with a harpoon called taxes ready to launch it into their hearts. All right. This is serious, people. It's a serious situation here. How long is this going to happen? How long are we going to be under this thing about taxes with Joe Biden? Is he going to continue to tax America, and 4 years from now, America will literally be taxed to death? All right? Because it seems like that's the direction he's thinking. He wants to take the country. This is the wrong time. I will tell Joe, this is the wrong time to be adding any kind of tax to anybody in the United States. With the economic woes that we have, this pandemic and all the other situations, why are you adding these taxes? You shouldn't add taxes. You shouldn't add taxes to corporations. You shouldn't add taxes to the regular Joes, you could say, and to these kind of industries. Matter of fact, Joe should be talking about cutting taxes, not adding taxes. All right. If the economics was robust, you could say, and we were doing great and things were doing good, we all, jobs were out there. We wouldn't have the situation we have now. Was this disease is running rampant? You could say all over the place, and the things were in a different way. And we were basically doing good. I could see where somebody will say, okay, we're going to raise these taxes. All right. Then you can justify your move to raise taxes. There's no justification, nothing. There's only one thing that will justify them raising these taxes, and that's called greed. Their amount of greed is out of control, completely utter control is what it is. It's ridiculous the amount of greed these people have got. In a climate like we're in right now, in the situations that we have in the United States, people that have become, in some ways, brand new millionaires are going to be taxed out of that position. They're going to go right back to the poorhouse is what they're going to get back. They're going to go back to. All right. So maybe people have been lucky to become millionaires. It's almost like the millionaires and the super rich don't want you to ever become rich. Why they didn't tax the living yang out of him when he got money from China? He's reported that he has tons of money from the Chinese, and him and his whole family have made great deals. Who knows the millions you have talking about there? You know? Along comes the regular Joe and invests into something that nobody was even paying attention to. But somebody thought that this thing had a future. And they went and they invested, they took their hard money, the money that they earned possibly doing their work and the stuff that they were doing, and decided to gamble their money on something called this Bitcoin or this cryptocurrency. And lo and behold, it has paid off in a major way for these people. And along comes this one guy that gets into the White House through the window, you could say, and the first thing he wants to do is level you. All right? Put so much taxes that he's making most of the profit, and you're making zero almost. You know, this is ridiculous. This is what led to the rest of the revolution of the United States, when you have the British basically taxing the Americans to death in some ways. You know. Is it that this is being done on purpose to see the reaction of people and what they're going to do? Is it that somebody's trying to literally start a brand new revolution in the United States? Because why? What's this insanity of raising of this capital gain tax of 80%? It's insane. You know, what you're going to see now is this money moving offshore. People may literally move offshore. Maybe they'll turn in their passport and they say, you know what the heck, I resign. I don't want to be an American no more. I'd rather go live in some other country and retire for the rest of my life. You know, I'll take my money with me. You know? And businesses and stuff that they will possibly going to invest here in the United States, and probably now they'll be afraid to invest in any property or any business, because then they will know the amount of money these people have. So they couldn't hide their money. Once you start doing that, everybody's aware of the money that you got. Why you're not paying the 80% taxes on that? You know, a lot of people have become rich with this cryptocurrency. Some have become millionaires with this cryptocurrency. A lot of Americans who invested in this have really done well. Others have lost everything in some ways, because I'm not going to water it down. Many there's people have gone into this and not knowing what they were doing may have lost money on this or lost it all. But there's a good amount of people out there that make good money on this, who have stayed in the U.S., who have bought houses, who have bought cars, who have maybe put in businesses, gave out loans and all this stuff, and it's helped the economy. All right. Now you want to take something which is it's a very new industry, you could say in some ways, this cryptocurrency phenomenon, you could say, and now you want to bury it? That's ridiculous, Joe. You know, Joe's got to realize that's totally ridiculous. And if he's actually listening to anybody who calls himself an economics expert, you know, analysis or anything involving that, you don't know anything what they're talking about. You know. It's a destruction of investors is what it is. And many a time who pays the price will be the middleman, not the middleman, the person making, you know, the people in the middle making this money, not the very wealthy people. All right, the middle class people are the ones who pay the price for a lot of this stuff. And the smaller investors. You know, the guy that went out and invested $3,000, $2,000, maybe the one invested $20,000. You know, let's say you're middle class. Maybe you had enough funds to invest $50,000, $100,000. You know, you made some good money if you came in at the beginning in a lot of these currencies. And there's still available currencies right now that could have some kind of a future for them. But the manipulation of this currency has also started. And it's time for those involved in cryptocurrency to voice their frustration, because I think a lot of these people are beginning to see it. And I think people are beginning to get frustrated because we're beginning to see the same old being poured in to this kind of wealth, you could say, as all the other wealths in the past. The banking system, it started out, you could say, with people that meant well, protecting your money, put it into a bank, put it into a safe deposit, you buy into a box where they could insure it, or they could have security and keep it safe. And later on, that began to grow and more people invested in. Then before you know, the manipulators came in, and started to basically manipulate the banks around the entire world. They started getting all manipulated. And then people start getting into the stock market. It sounded like a good place to put in your money. And then the manipulators came in, did the same thing, started to manipulate it. And this is where the problems begin. And it happened to the Forex market and on and on. Now, what's going on now? Now we got the crypto markets. Whether you could see what they already have made their move into the crypto market, and now they're going to tax you to death if you even touch the crypto market. This is not going to encourage people into the crypto market. Now, this could be one of the reasons why they want to tax this to death, all right? To encourage you not to buy crypto, all right? To get you to look back at the American dollar or at the money from your homeland, would it be in the euro or would it be the one in China? You could say whatever. They want you to refocus back to their money. And they don't want you to look at this other form of capital or other form of, you could say, money, you could say, to even look at it because it's going to be outrageously taxed to death, you could say. They could actually tax to death that industry. How many people will be turned off by an 80% tax? All right. If you're a small investor, you're gonna say, "What the hell? I have $1,000 in the government, and I'm gonna, let's say, make $1,000 in a market, and I'm gonna end up getting $300 in return. I mean, $200 in return. What is that? Is that gonna motivate you to invest? Of course not. And this is where possibly all this is going. I think the thing is, Joe there doesn't want to make it known to the public. And him and his administration doesn't want to make it known to the public because a lot of it's based on ones that actually got him in through the window in the White House were people that were also investing in this capital, in this currency. And this is the one he's going to be messing up. All right? So you go and you spend all your time saving for this, getting into this business, put in the money. You're going to make money now, and now you're going to be taxed to death. All right? You're going to go back to square one with this kind of ridiculous tax. I hope this is a rumor. I seriously hope. But it seems like there will be some kind of tax coming for crypto. You may be looking at 40%, 50%. Who knows what crazy tax will come in because you have the communists now in the White House. They could tax the living yang out of this. All right? And they could really tax cryptocurrency out of existence, where you cannot touch any kind of cryptocurrency because it will be a waste of investment. And I think that might be the direction they're heading to. But here's the thing. Here's possibly the way it's going to go. And you heard it from me. All right? From James J. Sakino here at the Bit Channel. They may end up taxing to death this kind of currency, but they may end up coming up with their own type of currency, which will not be taxed. It'll be tax exempt. All right? Therefore, forcing you to drop any cryptocurrency up there that anybody has come up with and only go to their currency. So all these countries around the world may come up with their own digital currency, and their digital currency won't be taxed. But if you're going to an outside currency, to a private currency, you could say, to a currency that is run globally, well, that's going to be taxed 80%. See how easy this could be manipulated in a major way. It could be extremely manipulated. So we all got to be careful when we invest into this and who in the heck we put into the White House. You want to be a capitalism, you got to stay away from communism and socialism and these fascists. All right, because you'll never be successful as a capitalism. You cannot combine both of them together. One will eliminate the other. Right now, the communist socialists have an upper hand in the people of the United States, especially the investors. Some of these investors were the ones who actually have put these people into power, not knowing that they were shooting the golden goose. All right, and this is what they have done. We cannot continue on this road to promote or put individuals that we know are going to tax us to death. You know that Joe there didn't mention almost nothing to do with taxes when he was running for election. He was basically in his mom's basement or his basement that he was in, and he was being kept away from the public because every time he opened his mouth, you got a bunch of gibberish. All right? And he did say something about increasing taxes, and you know how people would get turned off by that. All right? So now there's the consequences that we all end up paying for. Whoever in the heck voted for this guy will end up paying for this in a major way if you are a top investor in cryptocurrency. Because you may end up losing 80% of your wealth overnight. All right, or you're going to have to leave it where it sits at, leave it there, and possibly never take it out. I hope that the administration in 4 years from now could change to somebody who will fight off taxes, not increase taxes. This is what I got to say. I'm James J. Sakino. Continue to subscribe to the channel. Please do make a donation. I also got a wallet, and I need some heavy donations here to boost up this channel and continue to search for the truth and help those who are investing into cryptocurrency markets. You ask me, what do? You're going to have to keep an eye on the White House now. You're going to have to send a message to the White House. Take it upon yourself to even write to the White House that this is unacceptable, an 80% tax or 20% taxes, even that's a lot, okay, on your normal capital gain. But if they're going to do something like that, they're going to have to keep it around that range, all right? If not, they're going to turn off a lot of investors, or they may be, like I said, manipulating you in a direction that you didn't want it to go, and that is to invest on their currencies, on their digital currency, when that comes up in the future, because all countries around the world are working in some type of digital currency or another, and they're going to be presenting that out to the public, and I guarantee you capital gain taxes may not apply. This is what I got to say. I'm James J. Sakino. Apply to the channel and support this channel and get others to listen to it. Have a great one, and I will see you. Bye-bye now.